If you want to learn the right way to make nasty Detroit beats for 42 Dugg and ESTG, you're in the right place. What's going on, everybody? I'm Fearless, and today I'm going to be showing you the best tricks and techniques to make authentic sounding Detroit beats from scratch. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do Detroit beats, but typically they have a similar bounce to West Coast beats, but with a faster tempo. Of course, they got the hard trap drums, and then they have some signature percussion, the barks, the zaps, the bass stabs, and the list goes on and on. But let's jump right into this and get cooking up. When I think of 42 Dugg and ESTG, the song Ice Talk pops up in my mind.
They know it's us, go with all that flagging, bitch.
It's such a banger of a beat, and it's super simple to recreate. So really quickly, I'm going to show you how you can make this beat, and then we're going to jump in and make something new from scratch. Ice Talk is 73.5 BPM and it's in D major. Let's start off with these chords. Even though this is in D major, this does use a note or two that's out of bounds. So we're going to be using F, and we're going to be going from F to E. Let's pull these back and let's go ahead and copy this up an octave. We're going to add a D to these. All right, let's also take this A in here as well. And then we'll do one more D on top as well. And then I did some manual strumming here, and I just play with the velocities because in the original melody, you can hear the strum a little bit. And one thing to mention is that on the second set of 2 bars here, we take this first chord twice and then the second chord twice. Now we got to make the second piano, which is going to play the notes in between. We'll just duplicate that track down. Okay, and then we're just pretty much going to repeat this over. We can get rid of all these chord notes. And then we're going to switch this up to our F here. And we're going to bring these up to E. So actually, let's slide this over and we'll put it right there. And the last piece of this melody is a pad. There we go, it's that simple. I'm using the Wooden Room preset. Let's get into our drums, and all the sounds we're going to be using today are from the SOE Detroit drum kit. Jumping into the kit, let's go down to FX. We're going to go ahead and get that brass stab you hear at the very beginning. That doesn't sound right. Push this forward. We'll use number 5 right here. For the hi-hats, we're going to use 21. All right, this is super simple too, so we're just going to double this up. Pull these up. Then we got like a fast roll right here. This hi-hat roll is really weird, and I got it extremely close to how they did it. But what you got to do is you take it right there. We're going to make this twice as fast, and then we're going to do some craziness with the velocity. And there's another part to this trick as well. We're going to get there in a second. For this roll, what we're going to do is we're not going to take these super fast notes like this. I'm about 90% sure they used Effectrix for this, or at least something very similar. Detroit 808.3, and really we're following the bottom line of this brass pad. Copy this over. And we're gonna go up an octave. There's a little roll right here, and we go up an octave. We got something very similar here. We're gonna do this, and then we'll do our last little spot right here, and we're gonna go up an octave. Detroit clap 4. And then we're going to layer this with the snare. And there you have it. For this beat, let's go for something way faster, 185. And we're gonna be using some plugins that I hadn't heard about until recently called Cube and Beam. Lunacy Audio, the company that created these, actually reached out to me to give me some license to go ahead and try out and sponsor a video. And once I started playing with these, I was like, yeah, these are just too good not to show my audience. This is Cube, and if it looks kind of crazy, it's because this is a 3D sample morphing engine. I mean, look at all these presets that we have right here, and these are all the factory presets as well. And then we can go ahead and go in here. So let's go to keys, and maybe we'll do like a plucky organic sound. Let's check some of these out. And I'm just holding down one note, C, right now. That's all over the place. It's crazy. These sounds sound super full and wide to me, and there's a lot of movement going on in some of these as well. Go into the effects, the filter, EQ, distortion, dynamic, chorus, delays, reverb, limiters. Then you have your whole modulation section where you got LFOs. I mean, you can go crazy in here. You got a whole matrix. We have orbits as well, which looks like it determines how it's moving, the motion, all these presets over here. Oh yeah. Finding Juju preset. At least I think that's how you say it. What if we halftime this? You can move these notes up, put that back up there. This is sounding good, but let's try throwing that Beam plugin on here. Look at how this thing looks. I just loaded it up. It's already giving us a wobbly effect. We have some nodes here. We have a space node, which is gonna be like a reverb, like a convolution reverb, where you can pick different samples, and there's presets for all of this stuff. Organic textures, bro, let's stop. Look at that, look at that, look at that. It just updated. How cool does this look? Am I tripping? We also have a grains node, which is gonna be a granulator. And I love that this thing has a generate preset button as well. When you click it, you can see it's just gonna start updating. And what makes this plugin so much better than just a multi-effect plugin, you can build dynamic graphs. So that's how these things are playing alongside each other. Let's say we wanna use the envelope modulation to the rate. What you would do is you would slide this over and you see it glows, boom. And you can even draw this. So if we click on this here, we have a bunch of choices here. Otherwise, you can draw in your own. Crazy. Let's just press the next arrow. Insane movement. Oh, that sounds dope. Let's go ahead and group this though, because I want the original pattern to play with it as well. Duplicate this track now, and I want to go ahead and find another crazy preset. Maybe we'll just have an entire switch up. Hyperdrive. Now, we don't even have to have it come in. We'll just do that. Here we go. Detroit hi-hat 8. You know, I want to add a little more pizzazz here. So what if we do like, let's do like every third note of the new bar. We'll put down a little bit, like something like this. Pull this up just a little bit higher. Maybe we change up these velocities a little bit as well, instead of having them do the same thing. You already know we gotta grab the bark. And let's get a zap in here or something like that as well. Zap 4. Let's jump into the 808. We're gonna use the spins again. Yeah, maybe put something like... Let's get this snare in here. We're going to be using my favorite. This is the Detroit Snare 2. Beam is actually having its introductory sale right now, so you can get it at a fraction of the price while that's going on. Cube, the other plugin we took a look at, is having a giant sale as well. If you want to check out these plugins, there's no better time. Crash number 8. We're gonna have it come in every 4 bars. I'm curious what it sound like if we go ahead and duplicate our hi-hat here and put Beam on it. They have a whole drum warp section right here. All of these are cool. So if we leave in these 4 notes of every bar, tambourine 5, and we're just gonna have this playing lightly in the background. Another tambourine, let's go for number 9. I ended up taking that bark we had and I put a couple other notes in there. So we'll just have that repeat over the whole time. And this crash is awesome, but let's also find like a stab to go with it. We're gonna use this one, which is, it's a deep piano. Pitching this up 1. We're gonna duplicate this, pitch it up a couple more, let's see. So going back into Beam, I went into their ambient spaces here because I wanted some sort of a reverb. This Brian and Harold sounds, dude, check this out. Basic setup here, nothing crazy. As you can see, all I did is I took out the kick and the 808 and the drums before this melody gets reintroduced. Now, one thing really cool that I did do is I used Beam again on this next spot. Let's check this out. We go down to our master channel, Beam on the master. I'm turning it off right here before, you know, it actually comes back in. And now why am I doing that? Picked out that percussive spice thing again. It sounds so dope. And then after that, I just did a quick filter cut, as you can see there. And then I'm just turning off this entire audio effect rack right when that happens. So little things like that can really spice up your beats incredibly. I'm gonna have the links to all the plugins and sounds we use today in the description below so you guys can go check those out. But besides that, do you want to learn how to make crazy diss track beats? Because I discovered the science behind them.